Hello, everyone. My name is Ricardo, Lino, and I'm a wheel addict. Welcome to another episode of the Out of the Box. And yes, today we are doing the episode in English, and we've been a little bit everywhere. We did episodes in Spanish, episodes in Portuguese, and now in English, like we did with the Italian team. Today we have a couple of world champions with us, but if this is the first episode that you're watching, because this is actually playing live, but if you're just watching after this live show, well, you might want to subscribe to this channel. You might want to drop us a comment of what you want to listen here, who you want to be invited to this show, so that we can see you again. Now, today we actually have some gladiators with us. See, I told you we had some gladiators, and that's exactly what I feel like when I see that video of Simon. Those videos feels just like you're watching one of those movies with the gladiators at the arena. And funny enough, that track is called the Rijhnen Arena. So, with that being said, let's just introduce our people with us today, our guests. So we have, as you already saw skating, Simon Albrecht, which is a speed skating world champion, such as all the other skaters that we have here. We also have Laethisia, Schimek, Felix. Sorry, Felix, I never knew how to say your last name. And we have Bernd, Rijhnen. Okay, we have Felix, Rijhnen, perfect. Another world champion. And we also have Bernd, Rumpus, who is the German speed skating, one of the German speed skating coaches, one of the German team speed skating coaches. So we're gonna get a little bit more deep into your skating, your training, how you got into skating, and I'm going to start with Simon, because we saw Simon here being well succeed, but I believe that it wasn't always like that. So I'm going to start with Simon. Simon, how was it when you started skating?
I started very early when I was 3 years old, and I was really bad at the beginning. I didn't really like it that much, to be honest. The main reason why I did it was because my brother started before me. I have an older brother, and also the track is really close to my home here in Cosquero. So since I was a lot younger than him, I couldn't stay at home alone for all the races, so I had to come with my brother to all the races. Then I said, yeah, okay, when I'm here, might as well skate. But yeah, like I said, you can't really be that good with 3 years old, so I crashed a lot. I got last place a lot, so it was not the most fun thing at first, but then slowly became better and better. I think in the junior years, it really showed that I can sprint quite fast. And yeah, since then it's been going uphill still.
Okay, and I didn't really introduce you by telling the people watching at home how old you are. So you said you were 3. How long ago was that, without asking you how old you are?
That was 22 years ago. It's quite a while.
Okay, so did you start it? So you did start already with inline skates, right? When you started, you were already inline skates. You didn't start with quads.
Oh, sorry, my internet was gone. What did you say?
I was asking if when you started, you were starting already with inline skates. You didn't start with quad skates.
Yes, right? I was starting with inline skates, but like the really high ankle boot ones, used like 3 or 4 sizes too large for my brother. So
that's awesome. I also started because of my sister. And you, Laethisia, how was it for you? How did you become a short distance speed skater. Can I call it
Well,
that?
yeah, I'm short distance for sure. Well, I started quite small, like Simon. I was 2 or 3 years old as well, and it was also because of my 2 older brothers. And yeah, in the beginning, I did everything, every distances, like I think like it should be. And then it came to my first European Championship. I was 13 years old. And then I started to think about what I prefer racing, because I was quite good in both, but a bit better in sprint, and I liked it better. So I decided to become a sprinter.
That's good. We're gonna try to get a little bit more in depth in the reasons why you got into the category of skating that you do now. I don't think I can call it category, but the type of skating that you choose to do.
Yeah, the discipline is sprint.
The discipline. Yeah, discipline. and how was it with you, Bernd? How did you became the German speed skating coach? Did you used to race before? Can you introduce a little bit your connection to skating?
My family started 20 years ago with inline speed skating.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. We can hear.
It's good?
Yeah.
You can hear that? Okay.
Yeah.
We started 20 years ago. The family and the children are getting better and better, and me not. So I decided to get a coach.
Okay. But you used to race until 20 years ago?
Yeah, little races in my country. I was not good. Okay, I started inline speed skating with 45. It's too late to learn it good. So, but I was always a fan of inline speed skating.
Okay.
So you see my home team there.
Well, let me try to find you. Where can we find you here?
Yeah, this
I
is
would
one
like
of my
to see a video of Bernd skating.
Yeah, this is my home club. My daughter Katarina, she improved over the years.
Okay. Now, since I'm introducing everyone, I could just make a couple questions to Felix, but there's a video out there that actually makes a very good job. So we're actually going to play that video, and then we're going to let Felix talk about it. But first, let's just play the video. That is a long one. It's funny because I saw that when it was first released, because I used to work with Powerslide, as you know, Felix. But it was funny because I also saw one of your presentations that you did for the whole Powerslide team about 3 years ago. I know your story, but a lot of the people at home, we thought that this could be a good way for people to know a little bit more about you. Are you happy with this? Is there anything that you want to tell the people at home? Anything else you want to tell? Because we're going to be talking a lot more, but about yourself.
No, actually, every time I see this video, like I get so many emotions, and so I'm so grateful and thankful to, obviously my sponsor, to Powerslide, but especially to those 3 guys talking in the video about me, Scott, Matthias, and Jürgen. And I mean, basically they said it all, but we are working together for so many years, and went through all the good times, but also through all the bad times. And they always stood by my side and always supported me. And I think I could have never achieved the success I did without those boys. So I'm forever grateful to them. And we always joke about that. To every important event, I got to make sure that Jürgen and Matthias are there. Because, I don't know if it's coincidence, but I only ever won the really big ones when they were both present. That counts for all world titles, that counts for Berlin, that counts for European championships. I don't know. So it's really important to have them by my side as much as possible.
There's a part of this video that I find it very, very funny. And that is when Matthias, for everyone that knows Matthias, and Matthias say, he is funny too. For me, that's the best part. Now, let's go to some more serious things, and that is, we all know that the world is going through a very, very weird moment. And before we started answering anyone in the comments and all that, I want to ask you guys, how are you guys dealing with it? Because for people at your level of skating, or even at your level of coaching, when someone like Bernd has the skaters that he has under his wing to coach, it must be very weird to go through this situation. So I would like to know from each one of you how you are dealing with the whole pandemic situation. And I would start with Simon. Did you have to do quarantine? Were you able to skate? For the people at home, can you tell us a bit more?
Lucky for us, we didn't have a real quarantine.
Yeah.
Like the track for us closed a bit for like a month, I think, or maybe 1.5 to 2. But we weren't locked in our house, so we could go skate on bike paths or go ride our bike or go run. The gyms were closed, so that was one down point. But yeah, it was really lucky for us that we didn't have a real quarantine and could still do sports, just not on the level that we were used to.
Okay. And for you, Laethisia, was it the same? Were you still able to train and everything?
Yeah, it's similar to Simon because we live quite close to each other. When the gyms closed, or when I knew that it was maybe going to happen, then I started to buy my own gym. So I bought a rack and a handlebar and weights, so I could keep doing my weight training, because for sprinters I think it's very important. So now I can train on my balconies. So that's quite fancy. Yeah, and I tried to do the best of everything. As we still could skate, and I saw other skaters, they were locked in their house. I felt still quite lucky to be able to skate on bike path, and then I started to work on my straight line technique, for example. And yeah, so it was not that bad for us, I guess.
And what about motivation-wise for the two of us? Before going to Bernd and Felix, motivation-wise, do you guys usually train by yourselves? Do you usually train in groups? How has it been with your motivation? How have you been feeling? Because not like usually, I'm pretty sure you guys have a training routine, and needing to leave it, was it easy to adapt? I can start with Sam. I can go back to Simon.
Eyes to me? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, no problem.
Yeah, in the beginning it was a weird feeling because I was happy to do a good season. I think I had a good winter. Physically, I felt great. And then at the beginning of the quarantine, you already start to feel like, oh, maybe this year there won't be any races, but you keep training because you think, oh yeah, maybe it's gone in a while. But then week after week, it just gets worse. So it was quite hard to still keep training mentally. But yeah, it was the same for everyone. And like I said, we were really lucky here that nothing changed that much for us. Like after a while, we got a special permit to train on the track again, just alone. But at least it was skating on the track again. So yeah, it wasn't too bad for us. But I know that it's not that situation we have here in every other country. There are a lot worse situations. Italy had a massive lockdown for, I don't know, 1 to 2 months. So yeah.
Same to you, Laethisia? Is it basically
similar?
The same?
But I have to admit I didn't struggle with the motivation because I have like a technique that I try to not think about, that maybe there are no races, because a long time we still had Euros as a goal, because maybe Euros was going to happen. So I was like, okay, Euros is going to happen, and that is what you train for. So I think that kept me a bit from that mental downside. And then when they canceled Euros, there was still maybe Worlds. So I was like, okay, then you just go full for Worlds if it's going to happen. And as I usually train, I think 95% alone, it didn't change too much for me. It just the locations changed because I couldn't go on the track, but I still could skate, like I said, on bike path. I still could do my gym sessions. So in my training routine, nothing has changed.
Okay, that is awesome. It's like, guys, at your level is completely different, because we might have a lot of people at home that usually train with their teams, younger skaters or even some older skaters, but they're not at the level that you guys are, and not I don't know if you can say the word exigence, like they're not so strict with the training, their trainings are not so strict, so it's completely different than they usually do it with their team. And a lot of people, wanting or not, and how sometimes it's hard for us to understand, but a lot of people do it because it's a social thing for them, and even speed skaters. So not having that part, that's why I was asking you guys. Now to Bernd, the question is, I know that the German speed skating team is known for doing a lot of stuff together. You guys do a lot of training sessions. You guys actually come to Portugal a lot. How are you dealing with that? What are you guys doing to keep yourself together as a team? Because you're known for being a team, and I'm pretty sure you're finding that way to connect with everyone.
Yeah, first of all, it was really important for me to have a good motivation for all sporters and also the coaches. And so we have many ideas to put a team together, to stay together. And so the idea was, we have a communication with Simon, and was really proud. He got a Swift bike from the federation, and they managed races with Swift. And for the sporters who are really close to me in my club, we are doing Zoom training. We meet us every second day when we are doing spinning training. And it was really funny. We can talk, when sometimes we rest a little bit, and sometimes it was really hard. And so we are still doing that in that time. So everybody likes that. And we have a lot of communication with Zoom. So I think it's possible to stay together.
Okay. It's actually funny that somehow the technology nowadays allow us to make these type of situations a little bit smoother, if that makes sense.
And I can say additional, we are doing 2 big events with the German nationals. We changed the nationals to a chrono national, and the motivation was really high. When the sporters know that, they start training, and training is getting harder, and we are doing a focus and on the chrono championships, and also with the world record attempt from Rijhnen and Felix. The motivation is going straight on.
Can you explain us a little bit more about the chrono championships that you're talking about?
Yeah, we was not allowed to do a contact sport in Germany. Now it's getting better, and we are doing championships also for the sprinters. There's no problem. We are doing 500 meters as a time trial, and also the 200 meters. And for the long distance skaters, we are doing 3,000 with a heat, with a semi-final and a final. And the best 4 sprinters and the best 4 long distance skaters are doing the 1,000 meter competition.
Okay. And it's funny because, as you said, Felix is one of the skaters that is actually doing something, is taking advantage of the whole situation. And because the world championships has just been canceled, right? So he seems to have a goal. You want to talk a little bit more about that goal, Felix? What's about to happen, and why did that came? If it has anything related to the pandemic situation.
Yeah, obviously, the whole season is influenced by COVID-19, and I have to be honest. Like, I struggled for a couple of weeks with my motivation. Not in general. Like, I love to train, and I love to go out and skate and ride my bike and all of this. But there are some sessions you only, like the super painful and hard ones, you only do them because you have a goal in your head. And when one race and one event after another get cancelled, I started to doubt a little bit, why am I hurting myself every day? And I realized, okay, I need to do something about the situation. I need to change something. And then again, Matthias and Scott, they had the idea, or together we had the idea already several years ago, that it would be a nice thing to go for the world hour record on speed skates. So basically cover the maximum distance you can within 60 minutes. And then it came to my mind again, and I directly got in touch with those guys, and they said, do it now or never. It's a perfect time. It should be possible even with all the restrictions due to the pandemic. And luckily then the next step was that I contacted Bernd and contacted the head of my federation, and they were directly on board. They were straight away excited about the idea. They straight away forced a task force, and since then we have almost daily meetings and are planning I hope a quite nice event on the 5th of July. It will take place in Geisingen. I will try to break the hour record. Mareike Thum, the female long distance skater from Germany, will try to do the same for girls. And we also didn't forget about our sprinters, and they get also the chance to race two distances, 100-meter standing and a 200-meter flying lap. I think it was a great motivation for all of us to create our own event, since we're not able to race in the classical sense, in the classical format. And speaking for myself, it helped me a lot through a difficult time. And we are now just 8 days away from it, and I'm feeling pretty strong and pretty fit. I don't think I'm too far off my actual world shape, to be honest. And really looking forward to it.
That's awesome. And this is also a way not just for you to keep motivated, but to keep the hype of the people into skating. Because we were actually talking a little bit before this show about the numbers, and inline skating in general have been going up a lot. But when it comes to speed skating, it's different, because if there's no competitions, it's not the same. So this type of events, in my opinion, are very, very needed. Now, I have a couple of questions about what you're about to ask, because I have no idea. What is the world championship, the world record for the hour?
It's a little bit difficult to explain, because from our World Federation, from World Skate, so far there is no official world record, even though in the past there were several attempts. For example, Frank Fierce did an attempt in 2005, and he skated on a 400-meter track, 36.5 kilometers. And there was in the same year from Italian guy, Mario Guenci. He skated on a 1 kilometer road, 38.6 kilometers. And those are the distances I try to beat. Even though my rules are a little bit different, because we were in touch with World Skate and they agreed to make it official distance and an official world record. But therefore I need to skate on the 200-meter track. So as you can imagine, if you skate 1 hour on a track, there will be lots of corners. And it's maybe not the best way to cover like a really, really high distance, but I'm just happy that we were able to pull it off and make it an official event. And I'm sticking to whatever rules World Skate put onto me.
Yeah, I get it. It's more, it's at least you guys have a starting point, and whoever wants to break it, it's easier to get a similar arena somehow.
Exactly. That's my saying, because records are there to be broken. And it was a big task and a big challenge to pull it off, but I think we're on a good way, and next Sunday should be fun.
I was actually curious because of after seeing, including you, doing the marathon under the hour, I was actually curious what would be the distance, because you guys actually have covered more distance. It's obviously a different type of circuit and it's a different type of situation. So that's why I was having these questions, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people will. But for everyone watching this, if they want to watch the hour breaking attempt, where can they see it?
Yeah, so there will be several ways to watch it. For example, on my YouTube channel, at least my attempt will be they will be able to see it there. Coming Sunday, 5th of July, I start at 3:30 in the afternoon, Central European time. But we will also share the official links on the Federation Facebook account, Instagram account, and I think all the participating athletes, they will also spread the word and spread the links. So I think from Monday or Tuesday next week, you should be able to find the links, and definitely tune in. Don't miss it.
Awesome. Thank you. Now, let's go back to Simon, and let's keep it going. Let's keep it rolling. Simon, when did you actually realize that you were much better at short distance speed skating?
That's a good question. When you're young, you still do both distances, of course, even at like national level. But there was a point where I just figured I wasn't a lot worse than the others on the long distance, but it just was a lot better at some point. And that's where I decided for myself to become a sprinter, also because I like just going fast a bit more than going for long. I don't know how old I was. I think it was like today you would call it cadets, the cadet category. I think that's why I started.
Around 14.
I think that's why I started to really specialize for the sprints.
Okay, but isn't it normal that for a short distance speed skater that you should have a certain type of muscle, or even your training should be a certain type of train? When you decided, or when you chose to be a short distance speed skater, was your body already developing that way, or was just mainly because of what you really wanted to do or what you enjoyed the most to do?
I think it already started to develop a little. I'm pretty sure you know the Criterium here in Groß-Gerau, the race, and I've been skating it like since I was a child, more or less, through all the categories until senior now. And there was a point where I started closing the gaps to the older category a bit. So that's where I saw, okay, I'm starting to get close to what the next category is skating. And that became better and better until like when I was junior, I was almost as fast as the seniors. And I think I kind of saw it with the time trials, because you can really just see the time and compare it to the older guys. And when you see your time being similar to theirs, then it gives extra motivation.
Of course. So it was a mix of your body already developing and you start seeing results. So the whole thing it's kind of like the world is telling you, this is what I should be doing.
Yes.
With Laethisia, she was actually saying that before, one of the earlier questions, she was saying that the type of training for what she does is actually different. For someone at home that doesn't know, usually a short distance speed skater trains a lot, obviously the long distance too, but the type of training is a little bit more about, it's more about explosion, right? A lot more about being explosive. Did you enjoy that type of training since the early days, Laethisia, or it was something that you had to learn in order to become better at what you do?
No, I think it was always my favorite kind of trainings, like the jumps and sprints, because I was doing very good. I was always jumping like the boys in my age, or maybe even further. So yeah, I think I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot because I was good at it. But I think I love also being very explosive and just give everything in one time and then be done and say, okay, that was enough. But yeah, I think it has always been my favorite in my heart, my passion. Yeah.
Okay. Now, since we have two speed skaters, but like a male and a female, is it a lot of differences in between the day of you guys? Like Simon, what can you describe as like what's your normal day like, training wise? And
Mine, I like to sleep in. Which right now works quite well because I'm still a student in university. I study sports science, and now all the lectures are online, so I can stay in bed a bit longer. Yeah, then I usually have the classes, then study a bit, and mostly in the afternoon go for a training, either skates or bike or plyos or weight. And yeah, that's like how most of my days look like.
and how many hours per day would you usually train?
Depends on the training. If I go for bike rides, it can also go over 3 hours if it's with a nice friend of mine. Or but if I do like a quick weight session with a lot of high weights, then it doesn't take that long because you can It depends on the
You
training.
can't take it.
Yeah.
Okay. And for you, Laethisia, is it very different, or you think the gender has nothing to do with it?
No, it doesn't. But I'm more the type of waking up not that late, and I rather finish my day early. So I really like to eat my dinner at 6 or so, like an old woman, and then just relax until, I don't know, 8, 9, and then go to bed. But then the training stuff, I think, is quite similar to Simon.
Okay. And now let's see something that I would expect to be somehow the opposite in training, but we're probably wrong. So with Felix, Felix, how is it a day? How is it a day for you usually?
No day is like the other. But if I would need to tell you like an example day or an ideal day, then I would probably wake up around 7, have a nice breakfast and a good coffee. That's always important. Then ideally I would jump on my bike, road bike. Start quite early when the traffic is not when the roads are not so jammed and there's not too much traffic, and then head out into nice region, Odenwald's actually where Laethisia lives. Then go there for like 3-4 hours on the bike. Maybe stop for a coffee in between, maybe even a piece of cake when it fits in. Then get home, shower, go for lunch. Then I would take a nap. That's really a key thing to do, in my opinion. Really good for recovery, really good to charge the batteries again. Then in the afternoon, usually I would head to Grosgero. That's where all of us do our skate sessions. We have a 200-meter track there and a 300-meter road. And then probably go for some intervals or something on my skates on the track there. And then it's quite easy to collect like 5 hours of training time when you do 2 endurance sessions in a day. Yeah.
Okay. So now for Bernd, how does he manages all this? Because you need to train with people that you train with a lot. You need to deal with a lot of professional skaters, but I'm pretty sure not all of your team is professional skaters, right?
Yes, for sure. Okay. The professional skaters manage their home training for themselves. And I'm also a club coach. And so I manage, they are no pros, and they get a training from me every day. Maybe by Zoom in that time, or we meet us to do weight shifting or core training or skating on a parking place. Now we have a track also. We can do training on a track. So every day I have a lot to do. And in the morning, my day starts with working in the bureau. So I have to write a lot.
Okay. So, you do some work. Bureau, by bureau, you mean the office, right?
Yes, the office.
Okay.
Yeah. So I need every day, I think so, between nearly 2 hours in the office.
Okay. Now we got some questions here from people. We have a question which is actually quite funny to Simon, asking. I think he already answered, but someone is asking Simon if he is a gamer. He already said that he sleeps late.
Yes, I am, every now and then.
Okay. My question to you is a bit different. Is a bit more in skating, and it's going to be again for you and Laethisia. It's going to be related to the 300 meters. You are actually known for being one of the fastest doing the 300 meters. How was the adaptation to that distance disappearing, and then to having the flying lap and the new distances that you actually need to do? Do you think it's better? Do you like it? Don't you like it? Do you understand why that decision was made?
I like the 300 meter a lot more, to be honest. The 200 meter time trial is a good idea because you have someone else you see, so you have a direct battle. However, because you start on opposite sides and we are an outdoor sport, you never have the same track on both sides, more or less. Like on one side there might be wind, on the other side there might be a bit more dust at the starting line. So that's an aspect I don't really like about the 200 meters. Like I said, I can understand why they changed it, because for an outsider to just watch someone go for 1.5 laps without knowing is he fast now, is he not fast, because the times don't really say a lot to someone from the outside. However, on the professional level, I prefer the 300 meter a lot more for the reasons I just said.
All right. And for you, Laethisia, was it hard to stop doing the 300 meters? Was it better?
Well, for me, it was not so hard because I focus more on the 500 and next year, hopefully, on the 1K again. I was a bit surprised that they canceled it, because in the first year they didn't put a different or they didn't exchange it, they just canceled it. So it was okay, we only have the 500 and the 1K left, and the 1K is a long distance and a sprint thing. So I was a bit disappointed, because it was always my first race to come into the competition, and I like to take it, not really to do good, but I know that I'm a better 500 skater, so it was a bit of a blame. But now with the 200, I'm fine as well to just take it for preparation for the 500 1K.
Now I'm gonna keep asking. I'm gonna keep the next question to the two of you guys. Mm-hmm. What do you think about the decision of the tracks now, like the standard track becoming the parabolic tracks? Do you both like the parabolic tracks more than the flat tracks? You can start, Laethisia. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, we don't really skate on parabolic tracks. Last year we did on purpose a training camp on the parabolic track, and it was for most of us the first time in senior that we skated on this kind of tracks, and it was quite fun. It was a different experience, but I think it could be very, very hard for us, for the Germans especially, because we don't have parabolic tracks here, and it's a different type of racing. That for sure we can say. We did some testing, some lines, and you cannot skate like on the usual track, so you have to rethink about the sport, maybe about wheels, about lines, about tactics. Everything will change if we really go to the parabolic tracks, and I think then we have to do a big work to catch up to know the tracks better, and to see what kind of tactics can work on these kind of tracks. And you can see, for example, the Italians have a lot of parabolic tracks, and there, if you watch the videos, and it's really totally different kind of skating. So could be very hard for us.
Okay, you think it's mainly the trajectories that are affecting you the most? And to you, Simon,
I agree with Laethisia. Also, it will be quite exciting in the sprints, especially because, or a bit scary at some point, because we got a lot faster over the years. The material got a lot better, and we already struggle in the sprint quite a bit with warnings or disqualifications. And if you have that more lines to attack someone else, I think there is a chance that it can become quite aggressive, especially in the sprints like 500 meter, where you have one shot. But if you calculate it wrong, for example, and then you hit the guy in front of you, he's really out if you're coming from a parabolic track. So, we have to be a bit careful, I don't know, but at least change the tactics a lot.
Okay. And you spoke about something interesting. You spoke about the gear that has been changing. And we all know that, like, from 3 wheels on marathon, especially for Felix, and the quality of the wheels for you guys, the boots. You just changed the sponsor not too long ago, right? How long ago did you change to Takino, and how was it to adapt to the new gear? Was it was it easy?
It wasn't that difficult. I was on power slide boots for most of my years, and then when I changed the team to Takino, obviously I started to use their gear. It's not that hard to change the brand gear, because it's still a custom boot. It's still molded to your feet, and you're basically still using the same wheels as before. So these 3 things don't really change that much. Of course, it has a bit different feel, every brand, but just give it a couple of weeks, and I think you can adapt quite fast.
Okay. But for speed skate, for the long distance, the thing has been changing in a completely different way. Because for you, I believe that the wheels might have better grip. The skates have been changing, as you said, but especially for long distance skaters, as for Felix, you can see it on the results. And we all saw the time that Bart did, I think 4 years ago in Berlin. Felix was there. Felix won Berlin last year, and Matter has been doing amazing with wheels, and Powerslide has been a huge influence on getting more people on 3 times 125. Where do you see the skates going in the future, Felix? Because we know that at the moment is already in a place that we never thought it would be probably 10 years ago. So what it is going to be in 10 years from now?
Wow, that's true. I was already pretty bad in predicting the last big change, which for me was the switch to 125. Because when Matthias, again, the head of Powerslide, presented the idea to me, I didn't really think it would work. So maybe I'm too much in my own little skater bubble to really imagine I don't know, in 10 years to skate on only 2 wheels, or to skate on 150 millimeter wheels, or to skate on, I don't know, what other changes there could be.
What I was saying is, I was going to say about the Trinity, because it just showed a little clip there with the Trinity.
Yeah.
So the evolution could also be in something like that.
Definitely. I mean, I don't expect there to be like a massive change in the coming years, but I think there will be lots of smaller details which can be changed. I mean, personally, I got a new custom boot only a couple of weeks back, and our custom boot maker Sergio Mecago, he developed a special boot for Bart Swings and for myself. And it was just a new concept, and it's so much lighter. Like I save with a pair of boots, I save more than 200 grams, which is huge, which is a huge change. And I think that's where those guys, Sergio, Matthias, and also Pascal Briand, who's new in the team, are really good in imagining those small little details you can change, and in the end, if you have 5 smaller things you change, that will also have a huge impact on performance. And so I hope it goes on. I hope our sport still keeps his essence, like it shouldn't change too much, but I hope that the details will still improve and that we still get faster, obviously.
Okay, so going a little bit more in depth with that boot, it seems like it has some carbon tubes around the boot. So what do those carbon tubes exactly do to the boot? Are they able to take some of the carbon around your foot just because of those tubes and keep the leather, or how does it work? How does it work, the system?
So those carbon tubes, they are strategically placed around all the right places of the boot. And because they are super stiff, Sergio was able to use some layers of carbon less on the rest of the boot, because it's not important for a skating boot to be super stiff everywhere. It just needs to be stiff at the right places. And so he was able to shave off more than 100 grams per boot, but still he kept the stiffness, the overall stiffness of the whole boot, pretty much the same. I think maybe he even made it a little bit stiffer than my old one. So that was really a nice thing, because last year at the World Roller Games in Barcelona, we had a meeting, Sergio, Matthias, Scott, Bart, and me, and we were brainstorming about ideas about what we can improve. And then like 6 months later, the boot arrives at my house, and I'm so happy with what those guys were able to make out of a couple of ideas. And I mean, Bart and me, we are skaters. We are not super technical in some of those things. We don't know about how to work with carbon and stuff. But we have the right people at Powerslide to be able to bring our ideas into life, and I'm really thankful for that.
That's cool. It's actually interesting what you just said, because it seems like, and this question is going to shift slowly to Bernd, but it's what you were just saying right now. It's actually some technology that has been used in cycling for a long time. The bicycles, the frames of the bicycles, have been having different densities on different parts of the frames for a while now. And skates, for a long time, they looked a little bit like Jurassic, There was like that carbon layer, and it was all the way around. And it was a formula that works, and we always say that if it's winning, don't change it.
Yeah.
Until someone comes with ideas, and if they're changing, if they're changing, and if they're working, that's amazing. Now, I'm going to shift this a little bit to Bernd, because we were speaking about I got cycling into this, and someone was asking also something about cycling to Felix, which I will go there in a second. But I want to ask Bernd if he also looks into cycling a lot when it comes to training his teams, to dealing with the German teams. do we look at cycling as skaters?
Yeah, I'm interested in cycling for sure, 100%. We have different opinions about cycling. So cycling is a process. Every week in my training, we are doing 2, 3, or 4 times cycling. Also now we are doing spinning. So it's a good opportunity to improve.
I might have made my question wrong. Sorry, I meant more about the training. That's what I meant, like the techniques that might be used, the systems that might be used for training for high level cyclists, because they're obviously it's an industry with more money, with more investment when it comes to research. That's why I'm asking, if are we using some of the stuff that they've been studying and learning, just like we spoke about the bicycle, the technology used on the skates.
I integrate one system, a short interval training, to improve the oxygen in the body. So we are doing that 2 times. That's high ET training, high intensity training.
Mm-hmm.
So I took a plan from cyclists, and I changed that for our speed skaters.
Okay, so
over.
we're looking at sorry, not over. Okay, and now we have a question here. I think we're having a problem here with the internet. You can go, Bernd. I'll wait. Sorry. I think it's the internet speed. Okay, I'm going to go ahead, and I'm going to make a question from Marcus Almeida, and it goes to Felix. It was not this question, Elder, sorry. It was the one before, which is, Felix, do you think your hour record in skating will achieve the same prestige as in cycling?
I mean, to be honest, I don't know if it will achieve it in the future, but I think we're on the right way. The biggest thing is making it an official record and getting it accepted by World Skate. So that's the first part. And then, in cycling a couple of years back, the same thing happened. The UCI went back and made some proper rules. And then there were lots of guys and girls in the following years who were always improving on each other and making it a really prestigious event. So hopefully the same will apply for skating. And again, I just think it's the perfect timing to do such an event, and that's why we also put so much effort into it to live stream it, because what I felt was that the skating community worldwide, they are really missing the event, and they're really desperate to see sports, to see skating, and I'm grateful to the German Federation that they investing a lot of money and effort into it to show something to the people and give us something to cheer for and look forward to in a very difficult period.
Awesome. You spoke about something that was interesting here. You're speaking about the live streaming, which we already spoke before. And we also have a comment here from someone that is also going to live stream the event, which is Pascal Briand. Just wrote, cool interview, cool skater, cool channel. Now, the reason why I'm bringing Pascal Briand here is Pascal never need a presentation when it comes to speed skating. It's been a long time. He's been world champion. He's been, whoever is related to speed skating know the name Pascal Briand, but he's been doing an amazing job in promoting speed skating, and from the best skaters in the world, such as you guys, to the beginners, everyone knows Pascal, and he's been doing, in my opinion, an amazing job to promote the sport. At first, it seemed like he was as an individual, he was like a solo warrior because he was the one starting his channel and pushing. But it seems like more and more people are starting to do it, including you, Felix, and more people. I think I know why, but I'm going to ask you why. Why are you doing a YouTube channel? What is the goal to do with something like that?
If the question is for me, then
Yeah.
actually Pascal has been influence in that, because when I met him a couple of years back, and he was hammering out 3 videos in a week, like incredible amount of work he put in there, and he told me, he was just wishing he would have started this while he was still skating at its best. Because then it's much easier to have the right content, and it's much easier to kind of create an hype and an vibe, and that kind of motivated me to go ahead and get some proper equipment and start a channel. And I mean, the start is always hard. You know it yourself, Lino. And it's also difficult to do it besides all the training, racing, and everything else that's going on. But the feedback is amazing, and the people like the videos and they like the content, and that's for me the best way to kind of get in touch with the fans or the followers, and I'm happy to give them something back, and that's the motivation for me, and that's the cool part about YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and so on.
Okay, and I'm going to ask Laethisia too, and Simon. First to Laethisia, what's the interest that she has on social media, and how long does she spend on social media? I will explain you why I'm making these questions to you and why I think it's important, but I will speak in the end.
I think I started quite late with the Instagram because everyone was talking about, and I only was on Facebook, and that was already enough for me. Because I was in the beginning, I was just a consumer, so I was looking the posts of others, but I didn't post a lot. And then I saw that it became more and more interesting to get some attention also for the sponsors. I think that was my first interest when I started it, because also all the sponsors want us to do some social media and stuff. But I was a bit insecure because I didn't know how to do it, and it takes a lot of time to get into it, and it takes also time to create the content. And then I started, I think 2016 or so with Instagram, and there everyone already had it since a few years, I think. And then I started, and now I kind of enjoy it also to share a bit of my life, and as Felix said already, the feedback, the questions, and everything is really, really nice, because you get a lot of feedback, and you can create like how do you call it?
A little community.
Followers. Your community. And that is really nice, because then people come also at the track, talk to you, and ask for some advices and stuff. And I really, really like that, because it is about me, and it is about what I love to do. So, and because I can share my passion with people, and I can show them how do you say, how I walk my way. Yeah, and how I walk my way, and how I grow with it.
Your
and
progress.
And it's nice to see that people want to do the same.
Awesome. And with you, Simon, because you being a bit younger than Felix, as an example, how is it?
I also got Instagram quite late. The first motivation for it was also to give back a little to the sponsors. In the beginning, I didn't really understand it that much. I just posted stupid pictures of, I don't know, what I ate or whatever. But more and more, I realized that it's also a really good way to promote yourself and your brand. And I try when I post to do like quality posts, or at least something that I would like to see myself. So I'm not really interested in sharing every single minute of my day.
Zoom, ja.
And
Arbeitet ja die ganze Zeit die Sonne.
Okay.
Ja,
someone talking. And yeah, like I said, I really wanted to give back to my sponsor and promote myself as a brand. And when I post something, I look or I try to post something that I would want to see myself. And that's not me, I don't know, eating an ice cream. That's not what I think my Instagram should be for. So I try to leave it a bit professional.
Okay, awesome. And the reason why I was asking all of you guys this, it might seem like a weird question to make when we're talking about with world champions, but you guys are obviously, everyone talks about the word influencers, but you guys are obviously massive influencers. And people like you guys, when you guys spend a little bit of time, yes, it's very important for the brands, obviously, because the brands support what you do and it's like a way to give them back. But at the same time, for your sport, because the thing is, especially in times like now that not everyone has the time or has the possibility to go to an arena and watch other people, seeing that some of the best skaters in the world are trying to do something and trying to give back to the sport itself will only bring more people to skating, and having more people in skating will only get better results. I'm pretty sure if there would be 10 skaters only, the results will never be the same if we will have 1 million. And that's why I keep saying the same. And that's why I was actually talking about the social media, which for some people might not make sense, but it's 2020. And if it wasn't for the social media and the Zooms and the Skypes and all that, we would all be isolated and didn't even know about anyone. And we wouldn't be talking here.
Yeah.
And now we have a question here from Alipio, and I know you guys know Alipio. And he's asking about Madeira. When are you guys coming to Madeira? He's asking to Bernd and Felix, but I will extend it to all of you guys. I can start it with Bernd, but we can then extend it to everyone. When are you guys coming to Portugal? When are you guys coming to Madeira and to the rest of the country?
Yes, I think it was 4 or 5 years ago. We are going to Lagos for the competition first time.
Mm-hmm.
And we like the country, we like the people. And next year we are going to Madeira, and we get a good relationship, a good friendship to Alpio. Was incredible, was great. We liked that, and the team was happy. The sun was shining, the weather was good, and the atmosphere and the motivation. We are talking about motivation a lot in front. It was a really good time. So I do a planning to go to Portugal next year.
Okay, and with Felix seems like he likes Portugal. Since I moved here, you've been here a couple of times, or I haven't been with you here, but I know that you keep
Not
on
yet.
coming to Portugal. Why is it?
Yeah, our meeting is still on the to-do list. No, but I love Portugal. That's true. You guys just have way better weather than we do in Germany. That's no secret. And yeah, you have quite, at least in certain places like Lagos, Madeira, and a few other places, you have good skating tracks. And in general, the infrastructure for skating or for outdoor sports is actually pretty good. And yeah, that's why we're the German national team for I think now 5 or 6 years already. We come every preseason, so around about February, we come to Portugal, and we try to prepare our spring season there. And we've been pretty successful with it, and that's why we keep coming back. And yeah, we're super thankful about the support from the Portuguese Federation, from clubs like Roller Lagos, Marco Cardoso, and those guys. They are also always welcoming us back again. And yeah, due to COVID, we missed one of our training camps. I don't know if Bernd said it already. Simon, Letty, and me, we were kind of already about to board the plane, and then basically decided in the last moment that it's probably not the best idea now to go on a flight and leave the country. And so we actually we missed 10 days of the Portuguese sun, and hopefully we can be back there soon.
Yeah, the whole situation is weird. And you have someone here asking you, when are you visiting India? We actually have someone from India watching this.
I was in India now 2 years back or something. I spent 10 days in Delhi, and yeah, it was one of the really amazing experience I made traveling for skating, because I didn't really expect it. I didn't really know, but skating is quite big in India, because almost every school kid at some point will get some roller skates or inline skates. So yeah, they have a huge skating scene. And also the food there was amazing. I probably gained like 4 kilograms while I was there. But yeah, also there, hope to be back at some point in India. It's a great country, great people.
I'm not going to mention the beer, but somehow you Germans somehow like to drink a beer. Maybe it was the Indian beer. I'm not going to mention it.
No, it must have been all the vegetarian food, I think.
Okay. The bombs, the veggie bombs. And to you, Laethisia, what is it about Portugal? Is it the sun? Just like Felix said, or?
Well, it's a lot about the weather for sure, but then it's just the whole package. We mostly go there for 2 weeks, and it's nice to leave Germany during February, that for sure, because we mostly have cold weather and wet streets. So it's really nice to go in the sun and maybe even skate short sleeve. That's always the most amazing feeling ever, to feel the air on the skin. And then yeah, for sure the apartments and like I said, the whole package. We can go in the weight room, we can go in the stadium, we can do everything. So that's really amazing. And at that time there's no vacation time, so there are not so many people there. And it's really relaxing. Like the streets are empty, and we can just do everything there that we cannot do here in Germany. And if we leave for training, we mostly are sure that it's going to stay dry and sunny.
And it's funny because you are actually the crazy guys that we see in the streets with t-shirts. You know, when the Portuguese people are complaining about cold and everyone with like jackets, you are the crazy ones with the shirts.
For summer. And I even use the 50 sunscreen to not get sunburned. So that's summer for me.
And then you look around and see Portuguese with everything, and like me, because it's actually right now it's actually 20 outside, but I just wanted to keep the image. It's just for the branding. Now, talking about branding, Felix, do you want to explain this?
Yeah, I can explain it. So these are my own Aero gloves, and yeah, you were one of the lucky guys who got a pair of them. And yeah, cool that you got them with you, and yeah, nice one.
That is cool. I kept it in the package with a little autograph. It's still here. Now,
nice one.
This is something I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna explain you why I bring this here. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if all of you guys are full-on professional skaters. I do know that you also work as a policeman. I don't know. Are you guys all able to live from skating? Felix, would you be able to live from skating at the moment?
It wouldn't be a fancy life. Let's put it like that. No, actually, without the police and without my sponsors, it's impossible. Skating is unfortunately an expensive sport.
But sponsors, I would consider you that what makes you a professional skater. But without the police, would you be able to live? Still with the sponsors?
I would be able to survive, but as I said before, it wouldn't be a very fancy life. And no, I think at my age, I would have needed to make a cut already, because I think unfortunately I was never at the top of my game when the golden years were there, let's say in the early 2000s or something, when skaters were really making very solid
The
money.
Shedrick
I was
times.
still a
The
kid.
Shedrick
Yeah,
times.
exactly. That was a completely different era. And I can only hope that now the next skating boom is coming, and that maybe all of us can get a little share, a little piece of cake out of it. But yeah, we'll see about that. I don't do skating to get rich, to make money. I do it because it's my passion, and that's a priority for me.
Okay. Bernd, are you able to? You told me that you have a 2-hour job at the bureau, at the office. Are you able to
Yes.
live from? Are you able to live from coaching only at the moment, just from skating coaching?
Not really. I was a teacher, and I stopped my profession. I'm old. I get the pension is the word.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is, I live from that. I get little money from the federation. It's not bad for sure, but coaching is my passion. I do it for passion, not for money. And every coach in Germany is doing that for passion, 100%. Okay. And we
That
are
is good.
proud. I like to say that we have policemen. They can do concentrate them on the sport. And now we are also proud. We have 5 sporters in the army. They can also do only speed skating.
Okay, so it's basically if you guys have in Germany, with some of the professions, you have a lot of support. I had this conversation with Felix before, but you have a lot of support from the government, right, Felix? Can you explain for someone listening to this? I think this is important for people to understand the lifestyles that you take through skating and how you are able to achieve, obviously, the results, because you need a lot of time to train. But we all know that your body is not the same when you're 20 as what it is when you're 30 and when you've been training your whole life to be on the top of your career. A lot of people give up before that. You are able to keep doing
that's
it.
True. That's true. I think it's a very individual thing. I mean, personally, for myself, it took me quite long to become world champion, or to, like, let's say, really reach the top of my game. I think the important thing for me was that I always stayed hungry and stayed motivated, and then maybe other guys and girls who, I don't know, are a bit more lucky or a bit more talented or whatever, maybe they win much earlier and possibly lose the motivation and the willpower a bit sooner. I'm happy about the way it went for me, and now just hoping to get a few more good years out of my body, out of myself, and yeah. But so far, I'm enjoying every day, and I love what I do. So I don't see a reason why it shouldn't keep on going.
Awesome. And Laethisia, what are you doing in your?
Yeah, I'm also a police officer. We do 4.5 years of studies instead of normally 3. So that means we have 1.5 years longer to do the studies, and that gives us free room and time to go for training camps or to miss some classes. So it's not too much to catch up. And I'm done since, I think, 3 years now with the studies, and now I work at the criminal police, but not a lot of hours in the week. And the rest of the week I'm free to do my trainings and also to leave for competitions or training camps. And that is also how I earn my money, because through the sport I don't earn money. And I'm very, very grateful that we have that opportunity here to live such a good life, and also to have a profession after the sports career. So we don't start from zero, but we can start straight away to work for the police.
Yeah, you have a base already once your sports career come to an end, because they will all come, even if you stop as an athlete and you start as a coach or somehow related to the sport, but your sports career will somehow one day come to an end, and at least you have a base. Now, with Simon, he's studying at the moment. He's studying sports. Why sports? I also have a degree in sports science, but why sports science, Simon?
Sports science because for one, I think I will always want to do something with sport in my life, even when my career as a skater itself is over. I think I will always be interested in either doing sport or helping other people do sport or getting someone to be good at sport. On the other hand, there's always a need for someone who can do this. I think sport itself will continue forever. So, I think there's always a need for someone who can teach or show other people how to do it the right way. Yeah,
It makes sense.
Why I chose sport to study.
It does. I get what you mean, because for me it was actually the same. It's like I couldn't imagine myself without being related to sports. So I was actually scared of studying something that would not allow me to keep related to it. And nowadays what I do is somehow related to sports, but it's way more into the marketing and to the digital media part of it than anything else. But it doesn't really matter. I'm still connected to sports. The reason why I was making this question and I got these gloves is that in a lot of sports, this is actually how a lot of the professional skaters are actually able to live from gear and stuff like that, like having pro models. And the question that I'm going to make to Felix now is there a Felix pro skate in the works? Is there any skate with your name coming out?
I
went straight to the point.
The idea has been around for a while. But to be honest, again, the whole Corona situation kind of destroyed a lot of plans and shuffled up a lot of timetables. But yeah, you are right. I got my gloves. I got since a couple of years, I bring out every year a FR suit, so Felix Rijhnen racing suit. And always when I find a piece of gear which I like to use, love to use, and people ask me how to get it, then I try to talk to Powerslide or to other partners to try to make it accessible. But it's nothing I do for money. It's again something try to create a bit of a community and try to spread my name a bit. I mean, that's also something which is important and which creates a value for a sponsor and stuff. And I think nowadays you have to do these sorts of things. You cannot just skate fast. There's a lot more you have to do: social media, videos, and lots of other projects like clinics and things like this. Always super important, and I try to do those things as good as I can without affecting my athlete life and athletic performance. And I probably need to talk to Matthias again to get that Felix Rijhnen pro skate on its way.
Yeah, I fully understand what you mean, and I have to agree with you. But the branding is actually important. Stuff like this is important because this is creating superheroes, and this type of superheroes, like the video we saw in the beginning of this video, it's important. Kids, every sport needs kids, and kids want superheroes. Without superheroes, it's hard for them to connect to something. And we know this happens everything. It happens in soccer. It happens in stuff that is not related to sport. Even like some people speak about gaming. Even the little gamer kids, they have their own superheroes in gaming. And it's important. If you look at skating in the golden years, like you said, you had Chad Edrick. But even now in America, you have Joey doing an amazing job by branding himself, posting something and having millions of views all the time. And this is something that can help the sport a lot. Now, most of you guys here have been in contact with Scott. We all know Scott. How is the life for you guys? Like, for someone that doesn't know who Scott is, Scott Arlich is a New Zealand. How you call it? New Zealander?
Yeah.
someone from New Zealand that lived in Germany for a while. He used to be the team manager for most of the guys here. How is the life for you guys that all used to work with Scott without Scott?
Yeah, I guess I get started. Yeah, actually, Scott was managing all of us at some point, at least in our careers, and yeah, it's a massive change. And I have to say, I miss him dearly. Luckily, we are still in touch regularly. I mean, nowadays with FaceTiming and WhatsApp and so on, you can stay in touch quite easy. But yeah, it's a massive change not to have him around for every competition, and yeah, like I said, I'm missing him, but we do our best to stay in touch very regularly.
And Letty, you're in contact with Scott quite often too.
Yeah, he used to be my coach for, I think, 7 years, so a lot of years. He made me also to the skater that I am today. He taught me so much. I cannot even pack it here, but yeah, I was missing him quite a lot on the track because he was always there, like asking how it's going, and he was, yeah, just like as a coach and as a friend, he was always there, and now he's not there anymore. So it was really weird in the first competitions, and yeah, we all miss him, I guess. Yeah.
Simon, were you as close to Scott as Felix and Laethisia, or was it?
Probably not as close as them, but for sure we had at some point in the past where we were quite close. Especially like when he was the national coach of us. I think it was in Worlds in Taiwan. And I was third after the heat in the 300 meters. And in the final, I messed up a bit and got fifth. So no medal in the 300 meter for me there. And yeah, he was there for me then. He was good to cheer me back up and not give up throughout the whole championship. And in the end, it paid with the bronze on the one lap on the road. So I think at that aspect, he was always quite good to keep the motivation up, even though if you mess up 1 or 2 races.
Awesome. And guys, I think like we've been doing this for almost...
Can I say that?
Of course.
Sorry. Okay, I would like to say something to Scott. Okay, I miss Scott also as a person. He was incredible. I miss him as sportler. I miss him as coach. We have so many discussions about the sport, and we stay together some night and have discussions about the races. Scott, when you like to come back, you are welcome. You can stay in my house as you like. Scott, come back to Germany.
Yeah, I guess we all understand why we did the move. He always said that when the time for his kids to go to school would come, he would love to get back home. So his time came, but I think he left a mark in every one of us, and he's still there. So I guess we all love Scott. So I'm pretty sure if you listen to this, he's gonna be happy at the end. Now, thank you so much to every single one of you. I'm going to ask, do you guys have anything else that you would like to say that we haven't speak through this conversation? Now, there was someone else on the comments just saying that Felix has a huge fan base in India. I think you somehow need to jump on a plane anytime soon and go see your fans because they're waiting for you.
I'll try my best. Now, from my side, nothing to add, Lino. Just thanks for the invite. Thanks for doing these shows. Keeping the people entertained, I think, is super important. Yeah, in general, just thanks a lot for your work for the skating community, and yeah, we all appreciate it.
Thank you. I keep saying the same. Basically, we all want the same. We all want the sport to succeed. And that is actually something that we didn't really spoke a lot, but we spoke about this whole pandemic. And I think it's not something that every speed skater knows. I do know that in general from other type of activities in skating, people know that the whole pandemic actually created a boom in inline skating. And that boom didn't reflect yet in speed skating sales. In fact, speed skating might be suffering a little bit because with less competitions, there's less gear being sold. But this boom, sooner or later, will affect the sales in a positive way, because if there's a lot of new kids, there will be the time, if we have a big base, some will choose speed skating, some will choose to skate the city, some will choose hockey. So we're trying to make this base as strong as possible. I'm trying to work a lot on the base. You guys are on an extreme, which is on the edge. Like when it comes to speed skating, you guys are the top of it. There will be some other parts of skating. But something that I love about inline skating nowadays is that we all understand that each one of us is important for the sport to grow. So I'm the one saying thank you to all of you. But I want to ask Bernd, Simon, or Laethisia if they have anything else they would like to add. You can start, Bernd. Sorry.
Okay, I like this. I enjoy the talk with you. Was really nice. And we are talking about stars, and all three sporters here are sports stars, 100%. But most important is they have a really good personality. They are really friendly guys. They are open-minded, and together to be a sports star and to have a good personality, that's important also for the kids.
I have to agree with you. I really believe that that's why when we're talking about heroes, we're talking about role models. Without role models, we won't influence the new ones. You might be the best skater, but sorry the expression, but if you have a shitty attitude, it's not gonna take the sport anywhere. So I have to agree with you with this. Simon, sorry that I'm going on the list because one is on top. I'm going just like this. Sorry, Laethisia, I don't want to leave you for last.
Okay.
I don't have anything to add. Thank you for having us. It's great. Yeah, it's nice here. I think you have a good way of doing these talks, and yeah, you do it quite professionally too. So I hope you still have a lot of success with the next couple of skaters we have here.
Thank you. Don't even think that you guys are not coming back. This is only season 1.
Oh, okay.
Next year. Next year, we're going to do it after the World Championships because I want to celebrate with you guys the new results. Laethisia, how is it?
I can't wait to get back here because I enjoyed it a lot to talk with you guys. And thank you a lot for your work. I think it's very, very important for inline skating or skating in general. I really like to watch your videos, and yeah, you do a great job and keep going. I can only motivate you that I think the impact, especially now at that weird time, is really, really big and important to keep the motivation going and maybe to create some ideas and to get more people to skating. So thank you a lot for your work.
Thank you very much. I do it because of the exact same reason as all of us, that I guess we're all completely passionate about this, and it's just even there is money some days there isn't, but you will still do it. So it is always for the same, which is what makes us move, and that is passion. So thank you to all of you guys, to everyone watching this at home, to everyone that participated in the chat comments. I'm sorry if we didn't speak about all of them, but I tried to get on the line of thinking, and sometimes it's hard to bring some questions and keep the same line. We try to keep that line as stable as possible, okay? So for everyone watching this, thank you very, very much. If you enjoyed, if this is the first time that you're listening anything at this channel, make sure to subscribe to this channel. This channel is 100% about speed skating. We are doing this series every second weekend, called Out of the Box, but there's plenty of videos almost daily about speed skating, from European Championships, World Championships, the Portuguese Nationals, and whatever. And I'm pretty sure if you have anything that you want to add to speed skating, if you make anything, you can always contact Elder from Elder is the person running this channel. You can always contact him, and you'll find a way to somehow promote and show your your content to a lot of people, because at the moment this channel has been growing a lot, and I can only say thank you to this channel for allowing me to do this too. So thank you everyone that watched. Thank you to my guests. Thank you to everyone at home. And just like I always say, don't forget why we all started skating, and that is because it's fun. Cheers.